So this is chapter 4. So start with chapter 4, that is magnetic effect of current. Effect of current. Now we'll start first with, so this is actually electromagnetism. Okay. Now let's start with first the what is Oersted experiment? Oersted's experiment. So in Oersted experiment, as we were discussing yesterday, as we were discussing that there was a wire here. Okay. So and this wire is connected to a potential source, battery, correct? So the potential of these two sides is same only, nothing difference. They connected to a key, and he has used a compass needle. So let me do like this. I'll place a compass needle today here only to this side so that you can understand. This is the compass needle, and this is the compass needle. I'm showing you by the arrow. Okay. This is the conductor XY, which is carrying a current I. So Oersted observed that the needle is giving deflection. When there is a current in the conductor, needle is giving deflections. His observations were observation of Oersted experiment was Oersted's experiment was that if you see, let's say this side being the, I'll show you like this. This side being the south, this side being the north. So this being the east, this being the west. Okay. So Oersted observation was that when the current I is along south to north, the needle, the compass needle, magnetic compass needle gets deflected along west. That means it goes this side. It gets like this. I'm showing you with the arrow. It becomes like this. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Again he observed when I is along north to south, compass needle direction is from this direction is along east. That means along east. That means this direction switches, this direction reverses. Okay. So then again, now if you place, now one more interesting thing, another interesting thing to observe. Now if you take the needle up, keeping the current along, let's say what is north to south only, and if you take the needle and place it here above the wire, that is the wire lies now below the needle, what you observe is that again the needle direction changes. Okay. So last time it was what? Last time it got
Not
so this is the first time, this is the second time.
side.
So when you take it up, it again become 1. That means what is happening now? That means that is the deflection above the wire and below the wire is not same. When the needle is taken above the wire, the deflection in the needle, deflection of the needle get reversed. Okay, so these were the observations of Oersted. Now based on this observation there must be a conclusion. So he concluded, his conclusion was that as magnetic needle can only be deflected by a magnetic field this means, his one more observation is that there is no deflection if there is no current in the wire. No current present in the wire. No current. Okay? There is no current. There is no deflection if there is no current in the wire.
So I have one question, sir. Yesterday the observations from the experiment that you gave me, those should
same thing. This thing, we'll come to that only. Same thing only. These are the most highlights. Now, this means the current carrying wire is associated with a magnetic field. Which exists, which depends on the current in the wire, which depends on the current in the wire. Okay? Got it?
Yes, sir.
But then this is just the experimental observations and based on that conclusion. Now, if the wire is 2 meters long, if the wire is in the form of a square, if the form is in a coil, then also there is a magnetic field, and if there is a magnetic field, how much is that? How much current will produce? These things could not be answered from this experiment, right? Hence comes the Biot-Savart's law. Biot-Savart's law. So Biot-Savart's law, so we've seen from Oersted experiment it was clear that a current carrying conductor produces a magnetic field, right?
Yes, sir.
So Biot and Savart, then they perform they formalize it. They consider that you can consider any wire. It will have the total the magnetic field due to this wire is attributed to small length element. First, we will find out what is the magnetic field due to a single small length element, correct? And then what is for the whole, we can easily find from there. So according to Biot-Savart's law, okay, the current, the magnetic field due to small, according to Biot-Savart's law, the small magnetic field due to a small current carrying element dl is, we can write it in many way, is given as dV is directly proportional to the current through the wire. So here is the current through the wire I, directly proportional to the length dl. Okay, so this is the dl vector, this length is the dl vector, is a vector quantity, and the sine of theta between these. So we must be having an observation point. Let's say P is the observation point. So from here, this is the observation point. Okay. Now definitely dl is also a vector. So it's a vector quantity, means it must be having a vector symbol. So this is the vector direction. Correct? And this is the angle theta between dl vector and r vector. What is r? R is the distance of the observation point from the dl vector. Got it? Sorry. So dV depends on the current in the conductor, dl of the conductor, and sine of theta, sine of the angle theta between the wire, between the length dl and the distance of the observation point P from dl. Correct? And inversely proportional to r square.
Okay.
So let us see where. What is I? Current through the wire. dl. What is dl? The current carrying length element. The current carrying length element dl. Then we have theta, or simply thetas. I'll just theta. What is theta? This is the angle between, although we are taking sine, it is the angle between dl vector and what? R vector. What is r? R is the distance of the point P, that is the observation point P, distance of the point P from dl vector, right? So this is the Biotin-Savart law. You can directly write like this way. So that is Biotin-Savart law depends on the current to the conductor, the length element dl, and the sine of angle theta between the dl vector and the r vector, and inversely proportional to dl vector and the position vector of P from dl. Sine of the angle between the dl vector and the position vector of the observation point from dl. So if I remove it, I should get a constant, ideal sine theta by r square. Okay, in free space or vacuum, value of k is mu naught by 4 pi. What is mu naught? Where mu naught is equal to permeability of free space. Okay, its value that is mu naught is equals to 4 pi into 10 to the power minus 7. What will be its unit now? The SI unit of B is Tesla. Okay, so you can easily see from here I can write this should be Tesla, this is meter square, this is I is ampere, dl is meter, right? So 1 meter get cancelled. So I get here Tesla meter per ampere. So unit is Tesla meter per ampere. This is the unit of mu naught. And what is mu naught? Mu naught is permeability. We'll talk about permeability as we have done. We have discussed permittivity. Similarly, it is permeability. Okay. So now this is Biot and Sabat's law.
So 1 minute, I haven't read this. Just last line.
Oh, it's not finished yet. Not finished yet.
Okay.
So in vector notation, so this is generally the magnitude. Okay, this is actually the magnitude. Let us write it in, this is the magnitude of the magnetic field vector. We must be having in the vector notation also. So how can we write this in vector notation? So you can see every vector has a unit vector as we have discussed. So let's say this is the r cap. So this is r cap. Okay. So if I put the r cap there now, so it becomes what? So dv vector, it would be equals to mu naught by 4 pi ideal sine theta by r square into r cap. So this becomes the vector notation. But wait, what you can do now? Mu naught by 4 pi, then r cap, any unit vector is written as what? I dl sine theta into r by r square, then any unit vector is written as direction by magnitude, right? Direction by any unit vector, r cap is written as direction vector, sorry, direction vector by the magnitude vector. So I am writing same here. Now mu naught by 4 pi, then I can, this is how we have done in electrostatic also. So now dl vector I can write this as I, so it should be dl r sine theta, or isn't this a b sine theta? A cross b is equals to a b sine theta. We know this is cross product of vectors. So that means this can be written as dl vector cross r vector. Remember, it is dl cross r and not r cross dl. Two different things into r cube. So this is the of the magnetic field. And what is the direction? The direction of the magnetic field, this is the vector notation. This is the vector notation of Biot-Savart's law. And clearly you can see dv as dv vector is a cross product of dl and r. So dv vector lie on the plane, lie perpendicular, is a dv vector is lie on a plane perpendicular to the plane of dl vector and r vector. Let us understand this. Okay, the direction of this vector is given by right hand screw rule, or right hand if you remember the right hand thumb rule. Direction of, I will discuss this direction, I will explain all this. Direction of dv is given by right hand thumb rule. I am just writing right hand thumb rule because this thing is class 11 level. I am not going to. So what does this mean? So if this is our wire, so this was our r vector. So r vector is in a which plane? R vector is in, let me draw like this way properly. Probably the plane of dl and r. Okay, so let's say, let me draw this plane for you. This is the plane, this is one more plane, and here is the wire. This is the wire somewhere here. I take, this is the dl vector. Okay, or let us do like this. Let us keep it in that plane only. It will be even better. Remove that. Let's say this is the wire. This is the length. This is DL. Let's say this is the observation point P. So here is our R. So clearly you can see this is the DL vector. Okay. This is the, from here to here is the R vector. This is the angle theta between them. And dV vector will be perpendicular to, yes, and we'll see that. We'll see that very soon. There are lots of laws to check it. So this is the one. This is the dV vector, which is perpendicular to the plane of DLN. So this is R. This is DL. Is perpendicular to the plane of DLN1. Okay. Right hand grip rule, right hand thumb rule, yeah, thumb rule. So now let me explain you that what is the right hand thumb rule. So we'll see an example. Let us see some examples before we can proceed further. So, but before that also we need to see what is. Yeah, that will be enough. Now let us see. So you can see if I compare both Biot-Savart's law and Coulomb's law. If you look closely, so what was Coulomb's law? If I compare them, Coulomb's law and Biot-Savart's law. So Coulomb's law is what? Coulomb's law is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square, right? And what is Biot-Savart's? So this is the, sorry, that is the magnetic field. So this is, we are discussing magnetic field, and this is the force, correct? So if I take the electric field, let us take the electric field. E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. Isn't this the electric field?
Yes, sir.
This is the electric field. So, or you can write in small as dE by dQ and so on. And here you see, what is Biot-Savart's law? Mu naught by 4 pi into I into dl sine theta by R square. So you can see both are inverse square law, no doubt. Both are inverse square. So in this case, here also magnetic field, electric field falls like this. Here also as you go, magnetic field also falls like this, because both of them are inverse square law. However, this depends on only charge. This depends on charge. Here it depends only on the length element dl. Okay? Here it depends on the length element dl. This is not the this depends on charge over how much is this? How much is small charge over a small area, right? And this, however, depends on the current carrying element. If how much is that length element is there? You first find out for dl, then you can find it for the rest of it. Got it? Now, one most difference is that electric field. The electric field is not a cross product. Electric field and charge. Charge being the scalar, electric field being the vector. Okay? It is not a vector product. So electric field is not a vector product of any two vectors. It is simply Q by R square. But dV vector is actually a vector product. Keeping everything constant, I can see dV is equal to mu by 4 pi, then it is dl vector cross R vector into I by R cube. Right or not?
Yes, sir.
It is a, so in this case, if I write this in vector notation, electric field will be written as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R cube into R cap, into R vector.
Yes, sir.
So E
The
is
R square, no?
R cube. Direction, I put R cube,
Oh, sir.
R vector. So E depends on the position vector R. Here it is not a cross product of this or a scalar product of anything, right? But this one is definitely is a cross product. Remember that.
Hmm.
May I proceed?
Yes, sir.
So
So
now,
wait, do I have to copy this?
oh sorry.
So are you recording this?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, this I'll.
Now, so we have seen this. Now, one interesting fact, which we will also be learning in some chapter. But if you see, I take E equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, keeping, okay, we'll do that in electromagnetic chapter, leave that for now. Let's not make this thing confusing right now. So, why don't we find the direction of, let us practice some how to find the direction using right hand rule. Okay, so if I give you a wire, if I give you any wire here, okay, let's say this side is north, this side is south, this side is east, this side is west. This is how the current I is through the wire. This is AB is the wire. Tell me what is the direction of magnetic field at here, at X, and what is the direction of magnetic field at Y. There's so many laws to do it. Right now we're going to use the cross product to explain it. So we're actually using what? The cross product, Biot-Savart's law, to explain this. So now, if I ask you that how do you find it for X and how do you find it for Y? Got it? So here is the length element, dl. So first of all, this is the r vector. So right hand rule says that, right hand thumb rule says that you align your right arm, align your below of the right hand with one vector and then fold it toward the next vector, right? Then the thumb gives you the direction. Am I right? So
Yes,
this is our, this is the dl vector, and you also need to know here something, dot and cross. Dot means coming out, cross means going in. You better be familiar with this thing because we're going to use it a lot. And cross is going in.
Yes, sir.
Going into the board. So now, if I have to find what is the direction of magnetic field at Y, how will you find it?
So putting your right
hand aligned with the dl vector and fold it towards the y vector. That means at Y it will be a dot or cross.
It's going in from DL we come to Y. Then it's going in, so it'll be cross.
Cross. What about if this is R? What about in X then? This is R?
Then from DL, when you go towards X, then it's outwards, currents coming out, dot.
Correct. Very good. Okay. Now if I give you one question, let's say this is any wire with a dot, a current carrying wire. Okay. So this is actually, you need to find what is the magnetic field at this point. If this is any wire, current carrying wire, this is a small dl, this is around, this distance is around, let's say 0.1 meter, and this distance is perpendicular. The angle between them is, this is perpendicular distance, this is 90, this distance is let's say 20 centimeter. Okay, can you find the direction of magnetic field and give the direction of current? Find the, if B, this dot, this is B, okay, find the magnitude of B at P, that is, this is P, okay, at P. Also give the direction of I in the wire. Can you?
Yes.
How to solve this?
So what is this? Find the magnitude of B vector
at P. Okay.
So 1 minute. Sir, I mean, if you have given a dot already, it's supposed to be coming out only.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm giving magnetic field direction I've given you, but I'm asking you the direction of current.
Okay, current I.
I'm asking you for the current. Done? Okay, let me solve it. So, how do you solve this? So you see, what is given to you? Delta L is given as 0.1 meter. R is given as 20 cm. That gives me 0.2 meter. I think I should have taken this much more smaller. Yeah, 0.2 meter, right? And then what else do I need? So B would be equals to, dB would be equals to mu naught by 4 pi I. Oh, current, I did not give you the current, main thing, I'm very sorry. Let's say this is a current of, I've given, sorry, 1 ampere current. So gives the direction of I in the wire if I equals to 1 amp. Okay, so this is 1 and length is how much? 0.1. Okay, so 0.1 into sine 90, because this is 90, divided by r square. R is how much? 0.2 into 0.2. So this is 10 to the power minus 7. So 0.1 into 1 divided by, so that gives me 0.2 into 0.2, that gives me 2 to the 4, 4 into 10 to the power minus 2. So this is 4 into 10 to the power minus 2. So we can write this as 10 to the power minus 7, minus 2 goes up. So this is 10 to the power 2 into 0.1 into 1 by 4. So 7 and 2, that gives me 10 to the power 5. Okay. Now you can see if I 1 divided by 4 will give me 0.25. That means this is 0.25 and this 2 is giving me 5 minus 5, and here is also
So,
one more there.
So down, why did you write 10? I mean, there was 4 into 10 to the power
0.1, no,
minus 2.
0.1 is there.
Minus 2 goes up. Oh, you're removing the
Yeah.
point.
So that gives me 0.25 into 10 to the power minus 6 Tesla. So this is the small magnetic field due to the small current element dl. This is not the complete one, remember that. This is the small element. Okay? So, and what is this direction? The direction is already given to you. It is already been given. You can write like this, dot. You will see in many questions we can write this dot or cross. So dot is been given. So dot is given is already coming up. So current will be which way? The current is in which direction? Is it in the left to right or right to left? You cannot say from here. You cannot say from this. That is the purpose of this one, because Biot-Savart's law won't tell you in which direction is the current.
It's the current.
For that you need a separate law.
Okay.
Or else this good law, this cross product, we will use it, but when you need to know with the direction of current what is it, then you have to use the right hand grip rule. So you hold the wire. If thumbs gives you the direction of the current, the curl fingers gives you the direction of the magnetic field. So if I hold the wire with my right hand, so thumb is giving me current from, let's say, west to east. And so that's why on above and the top it is coming out of the board, and here it would be thumb is going in. The thumbs are going in this side, so it should be a cross. This is what we're going to do in our next topic. Okay, how to find the direction of our, in case of, let us do that now.
Current.
Okay, let's do that now. So let me clean it.
Yes, sir.
Now we will go to magnetic field due to a straight current carrying wire. We have done magnetic field, electric field due to a straight infinitely charged wire we have done. Similarly, we are going to do magnetic field due to a straight current carrying conductor. Magnetic field due to a straight current carrying conductor. Or this is, let us come with the easy one first. Let us not do this one first. Let us do the easy one first. Then we'll go to the hard one. Magnetic field due to,
So first the hard one.
no, first the easiest one. Then we'll go to the hard one. I'm changing that. Okay? Magnetic field due to magnetic field at the center of a current carrying coil. What am I current carrying? So you must be knowing what is a current carrying coil. A coil is just a wire which is turned in which is in the form of a circle. Okay? So imagine we have a current carrying coil, we have a circle. This is one single coil which is carrying a current. It is carrying a current like this way. Got it? Its radius is R. This is our length dl. So the direction of dl is what? The tangent at the dl. Tangent at that point. So this is our dl vector. Got it? So the red line is the current. So what do you do? We consider a current carrying coil. I mean the coil of radius r. Let dl be the small current element small current element, and the direction of which is the tangent to the coil, right? So you can say at any point you can take it to always like that.
Yes, sir.
So according to Biot-Savart's law, according to Biot and Savart's law, we can write the small magnetic field dB due to dl at O, that means at the center, at O, is dB vector would be equals to mu naught by 4 pi I dl sin r square into sine theta. But here how much is the angle? The angle between r vector and dl vector is 90.
90.
But theta equals to 90. That means I get here dB is equals to mu naught by 4 pi I dl by r square. Simple. So what will be the total magnetic field then? The total magnetic field will be what? It would be all the dls if I add them. So try to imagine, for small dl there will be, so what is the direction of this one? To know the direction we have to use the right hand grip rule only, but this time the curved finger gives you the direction of the current and the thumb gives you the direction of the magnetic field. So the current is in the anti-clockwise sense. So our curved finger is also in the anti-clockwise sense. So thumb points to the top, coming out of the board. That means magnetic field is out of the board for this small dl. For the second dl, it will also be out of the board. For third one, it should also be out of the board, and so on, right? That means if I add all the dl, I am going to get the total magnetic field, no? And how do you do that? We do by integrating it. So total magnetic field total B due to the coil, due to the entire length of the coil, due to the entire length of the coil at the center will be what? Integration of dB. This is from 0 to maximum B, 0 to total B, and this will be from how much? Complete length?
Yes, sir.
0 to 2 pi r, because that is the complete length, into mu naught by 4 pi I dl, right? So if I integrate this, I should get here B, and this one would give me mu naught by 4 pi I, and then length L, 0 to 2 pi r, that means it is 2 pi r. So mu naught by 4 pi I into 2 pi r. So pi cancel, 2 to the 4 2. So this is mu naught I by 2r. This is B equals to mu naught I by 2r. Now definitely the coil is not going to have only one single turn. Coils will have many turns.
Yes, sir.
For n turns, for a coil of n turns, so B would be how much? Mu naught Ni n times by 2r. So this is the magnetic field at the center, and the direction will be how? How do you get the direction here? Again, the direction of this magnetic, remember this is complete magnetic field. It is lying on the fundamental of Biot-Savart's law only. I cannot use that cross product rule here, because here dl element is not present anymore. Theta element is not present anymore.
Yes, sir.
This is the complete value. So then how will you give it? We must have some other laws to explain it, have some basic way to tell it, no? So then the relation would be again right hand thumb rule, or right hand inverse thumb rule, I can say like that. Okay? The direction of B the direction of B is given by, you can say this like this, the inverse thumb rule. There are many other names. So in case of that one, no, inverse thumb rule, that
Right hand thumb rule.
yeah, you can say, because it is right hand rule only, but it's the inverse now. Okay, the direction of B is given by inverse right hand thumb rule. That means, what does this mean? I'm saying,
What is that?
I'm writing it here. That is, if the curl fingers, right hand, right, no, not right hand thumb, right hand grip rule. Sorry, right hand grip rule. Sorry, I was doing a mistake here. Right hand grip rule. Okay. So in right hand grip rule, what do you do? So if the curl fingers are aligned with the direction of I, then the thumb give the direction of B. Give the direction of B. Okay? So that's it. There's another way to do it. If you look at the coil, there's another way to find out, which we will see later. Now every coil, now magnetic field is there, that means north and south polarity is there. Okay? Magnetic field is present means is north and south polarity is there. You need to know which one will be north and which one will be fine. So rule to detect north or south polarity based on the direction of I. How will you do that? You see, let's say this is the direction of I, because you can see now this is a coil. Try to understand this. If this is any coil, I'm writing it here. The magnetic field lines of a coil will be how? This is from class 10 level, so I am just revising with you. The magnetic field lines of a coil will be, how are they? They will be in the form of, in the concentric circles like this.
Yes, sir.
Then this you have done in something like this, right? So we generally don't have time to go deep into this to discuss this thing, and similarly here and so on, right? So like this, so on. So there are magnetic field lines coming out like this way also, coming like this also, coming like this, coming like these, and so on. This is a straight line going out. So that means which side is north, which side is south of the coil, because a coil has two faces, a top face and a bottom face. So one face must be north and another face must be south. So which face is the north and which face is the south? To understand this, look at the current. It depends on the current. You see, I haven't given the arrows on these magnetic field lines of the coil. Okay? So in which face is the north and which face is the south? To know that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write here N. You can see the face in which, looking at the current, if when can I write N, so you can see the north is along the direction of the anti-clockwise sense, no? This is I. So this face which you are looking at will be north, and the other face will be the south.
Okay.
The opposite face will be the south. Similarly, if the current is in the clockwise sense, like this, when you are able to draw S, so this side is south and that side is north. So look at this case. Try to imagine you are looking from this side to the coil. So for you it is what? Anti-clockwise, no?
Yes, sir.
So for all bar magnets, for all kind of magnets, the magnetic field line starts from north and ends at south. So that means This side, the top one is, because it's anti-clockwise, I can write an N here. I can write an N here, you can see. I can draw an N here, no? So N is along, the curved surface of the ends are along the direction of the anti-clockwise direction. So that means this must be what? This must be the north face and that one must be the south face. Because magnetic field always comes with a poles. Or both north and south poles. Monopoles of magnets do not exist. Remember that. So you can see diagram is quite neat and clean, right? So you can understand, right? So this is how the magnetic field lines and how to determine. When you have done with the coil, all these things are related to coil. So you must know all this in the coil. Okay? We will be doing maths on this one. So this is how we find out the magnetic field due to a coil.
Based on direction.
At its center. Magnetic field due to coil at its center. Now what about on the axial line? Okay? Clear? So you can see it depends only on the number of turns N, current and R. So easily we can form. Let us take an example to find it. May I clean this?
Yes sir, can you just show me the first diagram once? No sir, above, like the first one.
Don't draw all these dots. Don't draw those dots. Those are not for, those are only for your understanding purpose is gone. Don't draw that. So you only draw the circle.
Yes sir, so that is done. So that
don't draw those dots. Okay, that is those dots, those lines, those things you can skip it. No need to draw that. That is for you to understand purpose. Okay, now even that this line is also not there. This is also not there. This is also not there. Okay, so now may I clean the board?
Yes sir.
Now magnetic field on the axial line of a dipole. Okay, magnetic field, not dipole, magnetic field, what I am saying, magnetic field on the axial line, of a current carrying coil. Magnetic field on the axial line of a current carrying coil. So what we're saying here is that this is our coil. This is our axis. We are interested to find what is the magnetic field on here. Okay? Given that, let's say this is X. This is X axis. This is Y axis. So in the anti-clockwise sense means X. So this is X, this is Y, and this is Z. Okay, so this is X, Y, Z axis. Correct. We're interested to find what is at this point, or somewhere here, maybe somewhere here. Okay. So what we're going to do now? Again, the idea is what we need to go for the single length element DL. So this is our length element DL. You can see we have clearly two diametrically opposite length element DL, right? So this DL element will give rise to, will produce a magnetic field here. So in order to find that, let me draw a line here which is coming to this observation point. Similarly from here it is coming to this point. Got it? The direction of B in this case, you see what? Like this, and in this case also it is like this. Am I right?
Yes sir.
Similarly you can see there will be, I'm not going in that right now, I'll come to that later. You can see, so this is one vector, this is another vector, and I think I did not draw this properly. This one will be drawn. So So this I have to draw properly for. So here this is the 3D picture. Okay, the actual picture what you will see in the book is something like this way. So this is our point P, this is DL. So from here we see this is our observation point coming here. This is that blue
Yes, sir.
magnetic field dB, and due to this one there is another one which is this side. This is dB dash. Pay attention, this is dB dash, this is dB. That means this is DL dash and this is DL. Okay, this is our origin. Fine. Now,
Yes, sir.
so we must drop a perpendicular from here. And what is that perpendicular? This is the radius. Then we name this radius as A, not R, A. So in this case also I have that radius. Let me make this a solid line. This is the radius A. You do not need to draw the left hand side, you need to draw the right hand side. The left hand side is for explanation purpose. Okay? If you draw, well and good. Now, that means if this is theta, this is, let's say this angle being theta. Okay? Now look closely. What is the direction of DL in this case? This is not shown there in the book. The direction of DL will be, come on, the direction of DL is like this, and in this case the direction of DL is, am I right?
Yes, sir.
What is this angle? How much is this angle? 90.
90.
Okay, remember that this is 90. So you are looking at a cone, right? This is actually a cone. This is actually a cone, right or not?
Yes,
So
sir.
now what are you going to do? Let us write little bit brief about it. So we start by considering a current carrying coil. Current carrying coil of radius A. Okay, carrying a current I.
What's it?
Carrying a current I. Where is the I? This is I. Let me see if this is the I direction. Am I showing the magnetic field properly or not? Yes, I am showing correctly. If the current is in this way, that means if the current is in the anti-clockwise direction, magnetic field is actually the direction which I am showing. It would be along this plane only, right? So then consider current carrying coil of radius A carrying a current I. So this is radius A, remember that, radius A carrying a current I. What do you need it? We need to find, we need to determine, we need to current I, and okay, one more thing I must mention here, current I and number of turns N. All these things we should not write, you can write this on your own only. By now you know current I and number of turns N, right? We need to determine B, we need to determine magnetic field, I'm just writing B, on the axial line, magnetic field at a point P, located at a distance. This is in which axis? Y axis. Located at a distance of y axis. Look at the distance of y. Look at the distance of y from the origin, or from the center of the coil. Okay, so this distance, how much I am saying? It is y. Fine. How much is this one then? How much is the, right, this would be a square. This would be a square plus y square root Pythagoras. Okay. Then according to Biot-Savart's law, dB, magnetic field at P, small magnetic field at P due to current element dl will be, dv vector would be equals to mu naught by 4 pi I dl. How much should I write sin theta now? dl vector and r vector is how much? dl vector by, what is r square here? Your r is, isn't this your r?
So isn't
that is the r? Because it always from the length L to the point P. So this is our observation point P, and dl and r, that means this line is my r. This line is my r. So your concept should be clear. This y is not my r. That is r. So that's why I said you note that the angle is 90. Then can I write here sin 90?
Yes, sir.
By how much is r square? R square would be a square plus y square. Done? So this gives me dv vector is equals to mu naught by 4 pi I dl by a square plus y square. Okay? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now next thing is, at P there is dB prime and magnetic field due to dB prime due to diametrically opposite length element dl dash. Yeah, for this dl prime it also should be there. For dl dash it should also be same only. It's a circle, correct? So now what we can do, hence resolving dv vector, hence resolving dv vector into dv. Now wait a minute, what dv? Into dv cos theta or sin. So I have taken this as theta. Look closely, this angle is theta. Come on, this is theta, this is also theta, this is theta, this is also theta, right? So this is theta, here is theta. So if this is theta, now let me make some new things here. So if I draw the axis here, you can see if this is theta means this is theta.
Yes, sir.
And similarly if I draw one line from here, this is also theta means exactly diametric opposite, this is also will be theta. If I resolve dB into two components, so then it gives me, this is dB sine theta, dB prime sine theta, because this is, oh sorry, this is dB sine theta, this is dB prime sine theta, and in this one is dB cos theta, and again another vector will be there, dB cos theta, right? dB prime cos theta. So here also I can explain that. So you can see, if I draw a plane here, if I draw the axis here, these are the new axes I am drawing here, and you can see I am going to get here, I am drawing, so here is our one vector, here is our one vector, this is dB prime sine theta, this is dB sine theta, correct? And what are you going to get here? I am going to get here one dB cos theta, and also dB prime cos theta, right? Is it or not?
Yes, sir.
So then, so alternatively, so hence resolving dV and dB prime into dB, okay, we have said resolving, so resolving means we are talking about cos theta and sin theta, right? So now resolving dB and dB prime, dB vector and dB prime, we see that the perpendicular components, dB perpendicular components, I think I have done one mistake here. Wait. I think I have done one mistake here. Yes, I think I have done one mistake here. You know where is the mistake? This is not vertically opposite angle. How can I take this as well? Yeah, I was teaching junior classes, so that thing clicked it. Sorry. So this is not going to be that. I have to clean all this.
Wait, sir.
This is not. So I was somewhere it was playing. It is not. You see. So I'll clear it. I'll clean it. You can see if this is theta, this is 90 minus theta, okay? So again, if this one is theta, how much is this one? This one will be again theta. Again here this is theta. So that means this is dB cos theta, this is dB prime cos theta, and this is dB cos theta. Just change it, or sin theta components will get added up. So this will be dB sin theta, and this is dB prime sin theta. Yeah, here also I need to change them. Clean this. Yeah, I was just thinking, somehow I just accidentally said vertical opposite angle. So it is this. So this angle will be my theta. Yeah, this is theta, and here this is theta. Yeah, so that means this is dB cos theta, dB prime cos theta, and this is dB cos theta, and here we have the complete one, right? Here we have dB sin theta plus dB prime sin theta. Yeah, sorry, it was going to be a major mistake. So So at P there is a dB period due to, okay, hence resolving you see that the perpendicular components adds up, the perpendicular components cancels out, however horizontal components add up. Components add up. So let me do from here now. So total integration would be, dB will be integration of all this dB cos theta. Okay, so dB is now mu naught by 4 pi I dl sin theta is 90 by r square is how much? A square plus y square into cos theta. So what is cos theta now? Cos theta is base by hypotenuse. So if you see here, base is y, hypotenuse is a square plus y square, right? So this one will give me mu naught by 4 pi I dl, base is y by
y by a plus a square plus b square.
oh, it is, see why I am writing sine, it was cos sine theta na, come on, I think dB sine theta, this is why sine theta components is adding up, so this is sine theta. So this one will be mu naught by 4 pi I dl, a perpendicular by hypotenuse. So mu dot by, this one should give me a by a square plus y square to the power 3 by 2. Yeah. So then integration of this one. So I get this as mu naught by 4 pi I a dl, and take this also out. Where should I write? A square plus y square to the power 3 by 2. So if I integrate this, I'm going to get this as 2 pi a. So it should give me, so dB, so B will be now, total magnetic field B would be now mu naught by 4 pi I into A divided by a square plus y square to the power 3 by 2 into 2 pi a. So that gives me 2 pi get cancelled. So this is my relation, mu naught I a square by a square plus y square to a square plus y square to the power 3 by 2 b. For n turns, this one will become, b will be equals to mu naught ni a square by 2 a square plus y square to the power 3 by 2. Now how right are we? If y equals to 0, that means be at the center of the coil. Center of the coil, it becomes what? B would be equals to mu naught ni a square by, that is 0, so 2 to the power a cube. Clear? So I get here mu naught ni by 2a, which is what we have found out earlier, which is equal to B at the center, right?
Yes, sir.
Why this is? Because this theta is y. Why is this is theta? Because you see again, this is 90 degree. This one will be 90. This is 90, no? So if this is theta, this is 90 minus theta, so this would be again theta only.
Yes, sir.
So look at this thread, look at this diagram here. You can see it is always going to be perpendicular. It is perpendicular to the plane of what do you call, B and R. L and R. So here this is DL, and this is the R, So this is a square plus y square root. This length is, okay. So go through this,
So
practice
1
this.
minute, can you go to the last part, so for n turns that part?
Yeah.
So 1 minute. Square.
Okay now?
So 1 second. Yes, sir.